Welcome to DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Detzel, so let's get started. Hey, real quick, wanted to shout out to the Panther City Ultra coming up now on May 16th at Marion Sansom Park in Fort Worth. So, quick backstory, this one was originally scheduled for April, but it got moved due to weather to May. So, good news is there's still time to sign up. This race is put on by Rise Racing Co., who you probably know as the sponsor of this show. They've got 4 distances: 5K, 10K, 25K, and a 50K. If you're newer to trails, the 5K, 10K are solid entry points. If you want a real challenge, move it up to the 25K or 50K. One thing I love about this race is everyone finishes with a medal and swag, so no matter the distance. Keep in mind, it's capped at 300 runners, so spots are limited. Use code DFW for registration for 10% off. So it's Marion Sansom Park, Fort Worth, Texas, May 16th. Links are in the show notes. Go check it out. All right, welcome to another DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Detzel, and before we get into our special guest, we're doing 10 podcasts, 10 to 15 minutes about runners in the DFW area. And so we have Mark Denny as our next guest. So Mark, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. And thanks to Dustin DeRockashawn again. I'm going to call him out for a second or third time in these podcasts for making the introduction. Mark, you've run 11, 12 Boston marathons. Let's go back to why you've run so many. Let's go back to the first.
Probably of all the marathons I've done, of course, anybody that has Boston's my favorite. And I guess I ran my first one in 2000.
Okay.
And now 26 years later, I get to do it again. So, or 27. Been part of that program. Of course, everyone who runs wants to someday run Boston. I was able to get in and do that. And so thankful for doing that. Thankful for it and looking forward to it again. The last one I ran was 21 in 2021. That actually happened to be my 100th marathon and my 10th Boston as his last one. So that was a real special day. I thought maybe that would be probably the end of my marathon career, but decided to kind of keep it going.
That's awesome. 100 plus marathons, pretty crazy. You're keeping going. You told me a little story about one of the Bostons, about the bomb. I'm interested to hear a little bit about that and some people you met on the bus.
Yeah, probably the reason and it really completely changed my perspective. In 2013, I was on a bus heading to the starting line. I was part of this American Medical Runners Association it's mostly all doctors. They kind of plant you out on the course, and we were able to get into the marathon that way. But anyway, we have our own bus. I'm sitting on the bus driving out to the starting line, and as all runners do, it's quiet as a mouse. Everyone's counting their goo packets and going through their processes, going to the finish line. And there was 2 older gentlemen in the back of the bus, 2 older doctors sitting in the back of the school bus, and they're hooting and hollering, laughing. I was a little bit annoyed by their joy. So I wandered back, sat down in between them. I said, "You guys are obviously on the wrong bus." And they both looked at me. I go, "Do you realize where we're going here?" And they're laughing. I go, "Tell me your story." And they go, "First, tell me yours." And I said, "I've run 60. Of course, any runner loves people to ask you about it. I've run 60. This will be my 7th Boston or whatever." And they go, "That's pretty good." And they go, "Hey," goes Ralph or whatever his name is. He goes, "How many instances is this for you?" And he goes, "Is it your 38th or 39th?" He goes, "No, it's my 41st. I go, "Wait a minute, you've run 41 Bostons?" And and the other guys run like 30 something. I go, "How old are you guys?" And then one guy was 78, the other guy was 81. And I was telling them I was frustrated. I got put in the 3rd crowd instead of the 2nd, and I'm getting slower. And a lot of my friends have stopped running, and I don't know, this may be it. And the guy literally put his nose into mine and touched my nose, and he goes, "It's not about the race. It's about the journey." And you could write a book on that. And then I go, "You're right." And then he continually to work me over a little bit, and he goes, "You know what? I may be the last one to cross the finish line, but I'm still in the game." And he leaned in and touched my nose again when he was touching his nose to nose.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I leaned back and touched his nose, and I said, "I want to be you." And he goes, "Quit worrying about your time. Quit worrying about," he goes, "enjoy yourself. Look at the crowd." And I realized this is my 7th Boston. I probably never even looked at anybody. I was trying to find the quickest line and didn't look at the crowd. And he really changed my whole perspective on that. And I could tell you much longer story about what happened at the end with all that, and that may be a future podcast. But it was a day that changed my life, and it's given me a new joy running in my senior years.
I love that.
That's
How
a
old are you, Mark?
neat.
Because we didn't.
I'm sick. I'm 67.
Okay.
So I was really motivated. Then I have a good friend of mine, Craig Falwell, that he's 15 years younger than I am. We've been running
Yeah.
together for 10 years. If you're ever at White Rock Lake on Saturday mornings around 6 to 8, I go counterclockwise at White Rock Lake. But anyway, we run together. And then after this, we decided we'd run the continents and got accepted to Antarctica. So we started with that one. And then in
Well,
20, 23, 24, and 21 months, we ran all 7 continents. So he's my buddy, and I'm actually going with him. We were both accepted to Boston. So him and his wife and my wife and I are going to be going to Boston coming up next week. Looking forward to that.
I love that. Do you run with him mostly, or do you run
Yes.
with the running group at all, or what does that look like?
No, Craig and I run on Saturdays. And then during the week, we run on our own.
Okay.
And I've had several groups of several guys that I've run with through the years, and then some have not been able to run to pick up. But I run on my own and with some of my older friends in around town I actually run on during the week. I run on the golf course over here by my house, King Creek, and I run early in the
Okay.
morning with lights. And I think running on grass the last 20 years has really extended my running life and career, and that's been very helpful. And then I want to run at White Rock on
Okay.
Saturdays. Yeah.
You're probably right about
Now I
that.
haven't been
Something
part of
about
a big
grass or
group, other
trails.
than just yeah. What's that?
You
Yeah,
know,
the grass.
you've been running
I
for a
think the
long
grass has been
time.
very helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about this coming up 2026 Boston Marathon and what you're excited about. You get to go with friends, your wife, and things like that.
We fortunately got what I look forward to is Boston. The whole, if you love the town, the food, go to the north end and have Italian food, go to Mike's, what is it, Michael's Bakery, and get the
Uh huh.
cannolis, all that kind of stuff. Do all the sites. We were staying at the Lenox Hotel, which is right on the finish line. So my wife gets to do it. And you know what my wife really loves more about Boston is Newbury Street is the street that parallels Boylston to big shopping districts. When I'm off running a marathon, she's got full access to the shop, and she'll come back and see the elites come through, and then she'll come and wait for me to come in through, but she'll have a few packages under with that. So that's fun. So I've through the years I have 3 daughters, and they've been able to come through the years. And Boston's just a special place. It's a special marathon like any. I was there the year that also they had the nor'easter, and being from Texas, I never really knew what a nor'easter was. I heard about them until that year. They almost shut the marathon down. I can't remember which year that was, and they almost closed it. But they kept it open. And of course, Boston is a point to point running from west to east. Nor'easter goes
Yeah.
blowing right in it. So we had it was colder than Antarctica when I ran Antarctica. They were probably similar, but it was a pretty miserable day, but it's still a wonderful experience. So
It's fun to see all the runners, especially on a cold day. They're all just in their sheets, super
yeah.
cold, trying to get back to wherever they're trying to get to and hurrying, but they can't hurry because their legs hurt so bad.
Everybody, you wonder why you keep doing this to yourself, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things. If I sign up for something, it forces you out the door. It's a mental
Yeah.
thing. It's a lifestyle that
Mhm.
my first one was 26. Now, 40 years later, I'm still able to do it. Thankful. I've had to adjust. I've had, everyone, a few
Yep.
injuries, back, knees, and stuff that are, but I'm just modifying and not doing as many miles now, but getting it done and gonna go
You're
have
doing
fun
what you
and
have to
enjoy
do.
that. Yeah,
And
it's
I
a
love
life
that.
about adjust. It's all about adjustments. And you know what, like what the older gentleman said, it's not about the race. It's not about Boston. It's about the journey to getting there and whatever. And there's a lot of you
That's
can
right.
do a sermon on that. It was
You
really
could do a
meaningful to
sermon
hear.
on that.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. What's next for you? Do you plan on over the next few years trying to get back into Boston and doing it more times or?
Yeah, if I can, and I would always love to go back. But actually, we're thinking so since we've done the continents, my friend Craig has not finished some of the majors, and
Yeah.
so he still has London, and so we did New York back in November, this past November. We're going to
Yeah.
Boston. We're already accepted to Chicago, so we're gonna finish the majors. And I decided I might, if I can stay healthy, do another world major again. So I make it. Our plan is to do
Wow.
Chicago this November, and then London next year from now, and then probably and then Berlin in the fall. So that
Okay.
if it all goes well, and then off to Tokyo again. And we ran Cape Town and South Africa and Cape
Oh,
Town and Sydney already. If Cape Town ever
you
becomes
did.
one, we've already got it knocked out. So anyway, but I may try a second loop. is what I'm
I do have
thinking.
a question that I meant to ask you in the beginning, but just what was your fastest marathon time? What was the best that you ever did?
320. I'm a 327. Yeah. So
Okay.
I was able to
All right.
break, it was back in my day, 330. I couldn't break a 320. And then when I turned 40, I could run a 320. Yeah, under a 330. And I could break 330. So that was good. But that was my fastest time. And now I'm kind of wandered into the fours and maybe into five now. Who knows? But we're still in the game.
You're still running, man. You're still doing it. It's
Yeah.
all about the journey, like you said. Did
Yeah.
is there anything that I missed? I'm sure I missed a lot that you just said that people would really you think people should know about either Boston running in general? Any
No,
thoughts
it's just
before?
I don't know. It's a lifestyle, and it's one of those things that I've had a lot of joy. Not Boston by far of all, I've run all over the world, and Boston by far is over the top my favorite. Not only just for what it means, for the tradition, the history, the town, just being Marathon Monday, everyone's off. Everybody from
Yeah,
Hopkinton all the way into
it's
Boston is
pretty cool.
people on the side. It's just a wonderful race, but it's just the discipline of setting these goals and doing it. It just makes you better at what you do. It definitely made me better. It's who I am. And my wife and I have been able to go to Iceland and different places and run runs. And it's
Love it.
just a great it's just a great way to do it. Sign up, go have fun and something to do. I work, I'm busy like everybody else. I raised
Yeah.
kids through all that, and now I've got
Mhm.
grandkids, and it's just part of my morning discipline outside, and
I love that.
running the marathons is just like I say, that's the extra bonus. It's the journey of getting ready for these things.
One thing I like what you said because my wife also runs. She's running her 13th Boston Marathon in a row coming up. But the journey that running, I'm a runner too. I don't really do marathons anymore, but the journey that has taken us to different states and countries and places that we book our time around these marathons or half marathons or just these running vacation type things. And it's awesome because we get to feel like we're doing something that is active and focused and we get to see a bunch of stuff. And so I love that you said that because I agree. So that's really it. But
Yeah, and then you go with these, and you go, and then you go, and you're around like-minded people. You go to these. I've done a lot with through marathon tours and so forth, and you're around these bigger, and you're around other people from all the different countries. Meet all
mhm.
these people who are kind of the same as you, but from different background.
Yep.
And it's just it's a family. And I think that's probably the most disturbing thing for me with the Boston bombing, and I won't go back
Mm,
into that a lot, but there was an attack on my family, and it's hard for me to talk about and what I experienced with that. And maybe we can talk again about that. But there's a huge story there. But I was able to come back the following year after that year, and I've got a automatic reentry to that, and a very emotional run in the year after as well.
I'm sure of it. I think my wife's first Boston was in Mark. This has been really great. Really appreciate your time. Thank you everyone for tuning in to another DFW Running Talk. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter at dfwrunningtalk.substack.com. Mark, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Chris. All right, appreciate it. Blessings.